The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson with colleagues Shaq and Ken Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Hawks in Atlanta. Wins have been few and far between of late for Atlanta. The early part of the season has not unfolded the way they pictured it. They've struggled to perform on a consistent basis, and it's led to a series of disappointing results. You just don't know which team is going to show up every night. Still a little strange to see D. Wade out of a Heat uniform, but we'll get to see him tonight. As his career winds down, where do you see him on the list of all-time shooting guards?
Let's see, three-time champion, one Finals MVP. I'm going to say he's the third best shooting guard in the modern era.
Would you like to tell us who the first two are?
I would never say Mike and Kobe.
Oh, okay.
Well, see, I don't consider Michael the modern era, because after 2000s, I'm saying he's not the modern anymore. So I would say that Dwayne would be the second best shooting guard in the modern era.
Well, it depends on what you call modern.
Exactly.
Well, anything.
I think the 90s are pretty modern.
Exactly.
I mean, the last
What are you
20
talking
years,
about?
don't you think that's pretty modern?
Do you have a TV from the 90s in your house? That's not modern.
Three of them.
Exactly.
From the 90s?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
From the 90s.
Yes.
No.
And, yeah, like my buddy.
There's nothing in my house.
I agree with you, Ernie.
And my non-working one is on
Don't
top
be
of
a
the working
millennial.
one.
Don't forget where you come from, millennial man.
I'm a millennial guy.
No, it's
so
right over there next
he's
to
number
my,
two.
It's right over there next to my transistor radio.
He's number two. Michael is not modern anymore.
No.
My 8-track player.
And my toaster oven.
Then why is he still selling shoes
right
if he's
there.
not modern? Got him, Judge Ernie.
Yeah. Michael still has a loop earring in his ear.
But he's still selling shoes.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
A look at the outside of Phillips Arena in downtown Atlanta. We're all set to bring you today's action. The Cavaliers coming to an Eastern Conference contest in this game. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, 2K Sports welcoming you to NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. And David Aldridge will be on our sideline tonight reporting. You look at the Atlanta Hawks. Well, guys, at this point, while still many things can change, their record is not on par with their performance last year. Maybe a cause for concern, but something they are well aware of.
And, you know, right now for Atlanta, they've gotten off to the kind of start teams just dread. They've already dug a nice hole for themselves.
They do have the talent necessary to get it turned around quickly. They won't want to wait too much longer to do it, but they can still make it a productive season.
Already, Doris, several elite rookies are struggling. We often see top high school players making the seamless jump to college. Why is that next jump from college to pro so much more difficult?
Well, I think every level of basketball that you go up, whether it's high school to college and then college to pro, there's a different level of physicality. The players take an extraordinary jump both in their approach to the game, their level of professionalism, what their physical and mental maturation state is. So the NBA has the best players not only from the United States, but from across the world. And so obviously there's a level of preparation that's required on a day-to-day basis, and the season is so much drastically longer from the college, which plays about 32 to 40 games, to an 82-game regular season, and then if you're fortunate enough to be in the playoffs. So there's a level of endurance required in addition to both the physical and mental maturation standpoint.
And a look at the starters for the Cavaliers. LeBron and Crowder, the tandem at forward. Rose is out there with Smith. And it's Love in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And Dennis Schroeder out of Germany handed the keys as the full-time starter at the point guard in his 4th season.
And with his confidence and competitive spirit, you know, he was chomping at the bit for that opportunity. And you got to love his athleticism coupled with that big play capability. It's just exciting to see how good this young man can become.
And he makes the first.
When you look at the Cavs bench, you certainly see a lot of veterans over there. LeBron wants teammates he can trust in the heat of the playoffs.
And so he makes both from the line. And LeBron trying to make the most of his championship window, Doris. But does the age of the Cavalier role players shorten that window, do you think?
Well, I think it's a great question. And you could look at a team like the San Antonio Spurs, and they put among their reserves young developing players, and that helps to extend their run. With the Cavs, it seems to be more of a now or never approach.
He took good advantage of that screen.
Well, LeBron's going to put in work from the mid-range if you start to give him that kind of space.
Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. Schroeder dishes to Muscala. No good on that one. And Cleveland will come the other way. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, they were just pounded on the inside, particularly on that backboard. That was a huge disadvantage for them.
Rebounding requires boxing out, toughness, and energy. None of that was displayed.
And the Hawks with possession here. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And you know what? They played well, but just not well enough. And close games really test where your team is at.
You know, Greg, that's a great point. They just didn't have enough to flip that last switch, and losses like that stick with you for some time.
In the corner, it's James. And it's off from three-point range. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Cavaliers lead by 2. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And we got a chance to hear from LeBron James about the hard work and preparation he brings into every game.
Go back and I'm able to, read the scouting report, and also when I get to the arena, I also watch more film on each and every guy that's going to be playing, guys that I know I may be, matched up against, throughout the night. So I'm not surprised by anything if it happens throughout the game. So it's a lot of preparation that goes in, to just one game, just trying to get one win, but that's what it takes to win good.
I think you'd have to say the preparation really shows on the court in his play, and rarely does he look surprised out there or caught off guard.
And Kevin, that's really just the mark of a total pro. And I don't think oftentimes the fans appreciate how much goes in terms of preparation. Some guys get it and some guys don't. But he's a perfect example of what proper preparation means in terms of preventing a poor performance.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And from what we've seen from the Cavaliers, what do you guys see?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
You love that they're making the offense work, right? Making every single thing they try to do hard.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Hawks, Collins is out there with Luke Bennett. Then it's Mike Muscala. Then there's Bellinelli. And it's Delaney in at the point. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Guys, Tristan Thompson has one of the longest consecutive games played streaks in NBA history. He said, the mind's a powerful thing. And if you tell your brain everything is all right, you'd be surprised on the stuff you can achieve. We have the mental toughness to push through our limits. That's how you become great and test yourself as a player. Kevin?
Well, David, Thompson certainly a mentally strong player. Always nice to have someone you can rely on night in and night out. The free throw drops for Korver. And Kyle Korver, one of the league's all-time great shooters, still holds the single-season mark for three-point percentage at over 53%. He did that back in 2010.
Well, Kev, his floor spacing ability with that three-pointer is just so crucial to the team's success. This guy draws so much defensive attention, and think about it. An open three might as well be a layup for this guy.
And the Hawks in the last couple seasons with some roster turnover, established veterans departing, and now with Millsap leaving, they have embraced a complete rebuild. Here's
Dorsey in the corner. It's Bellinelli. 5 on the clock. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on Love. And the Hawks traded Howard and lost Paul Millsap in short time. So the rebuild, it would appear, is on for Atlanta.
Yeah, and it seems like they feel good with how they've approached it. You know, you got to commit to turning things over and starting anew. And the Hawks have taken the first steps to building towards the future.
And he knocks down the first one.
And a Kyrie's trade demand over the summer, a reflection of his frayed relationship with LeBron. James, with a forceful personality, it seems that may have grated on Irving.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Collins. Taurean Prince comes in for Luke Babbitt. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Malcolm Delaney. Both free throws good from Bellinelli.
And LeBron remains an outspoken leader on this Cavs team. Still interesting, though, to see whether he alters his style somewhat in light of the Kyrie situation. Perhaps leaving more to the coaches and looking to blend in more with his teammates.
Atlanta making a switch here. Bazemore's checked in. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. It's Prince on the wing. Pass to Dedmon. Takes the 13-footer, and that's off the glass and in. Prince has got the lead up to 2 now for the Hawks. Wade against Schroeder. Wade kicks to Shumpert. Here's James. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
Just a high percentage look for LeBron. I mean, he's so good in the post.
So a tie game here as we finish the first half. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Teron Lue. Coach, what is the focus going to be in the second half?
Just play the right way. Move the ball, share the ball, get stops, and get out and run in transition.
Always leads to good results. Thanks, Teron. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. The second quarter was a tight battle, but they were the slightly better team. Not by very much, however. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
Scoring in the paint, that's an area where they can improve. With the defense sagging in, they settle for a lot of jump shots in the first half. Coming out of the break, I think it'll be better running off pick and rolls, hitting cutters, moving toward the hoop, that old Boston Celtics style basketball.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Cleveland?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass cleaned.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. And Doris, you've spoken in the past about the art form of drawing a foul. Who are some of the best players that you've seen in executing that?
Well, I think the preeminent guy at this point would have to be James Harden, right? And this guy specializes in the and one, the 3-shot opportunities from 3. And listen, that is part of the game, and we do not want to take that aspect away, right? Because and ones have always been a part of the game. What we need to evaluate is at what point does a shot attempt begin versus those guys who are throwing themselves, or in James Harden's case, sometimes grabbing the arm of the defender and creating a foul where none existed before.
He's been very clever in perfecting that, and I give him credit because he has taken what's given and really exploited it.
It might become known if they make a change as the Harden rule, Kevin.
You're right. It probably will be. On the court for Cleveland, Smith is the 2 with LeBron at the 3. Kevin Love out there with Jay Crowder, and it's Rose in at the point. Now here's Rose. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Love with the screen on Schroeder. Off the pick, and finished off by Rose.
Yeah, he's still showing flashes of that incredible athleticism. Rose is a force attacking the lane.
Dedmon passes to Schroeder. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Dedmon kicks to Prince. They set the screen. 6 on the shot clock. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And another lead change. The fans are really getting their money's worth here tonight.
Well, this is what they pay to see, right? Competitive, close games are simply the best to be involved in.
Here's LeBron, and Cleveland again with the bucket. Third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Schroeder outside. Bazemore on the wing. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Bazemore's got his first 3 points of the game. The shot misses. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. It's Atlanta. They lead by a bucket. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Let's be the one that just plays harder. Keep playing through it. Keep playing. Keep playing our game. Here we go.
Mike Budenholzer laying it down to his good team, asking a little bit more from the energy standpoint, more effort from his guys.
Yeah, and I think he sees an opportunity for them to try and make a move here. Doesn't want to let that pass by.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Collins is out there with Muscala. Then there's Kent Bazemore. Then there's Bellinelli. And it's Delaney in at the 1. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Here's Delaney. Pass to Bazemore. Down low. It's stolen by Green. The drive by James.
LeBron just shrugs off any and all contact when he has a good look at the rim like that.
The Hawks trailing. Delaney kicks to Bellinelli. Inside, it's stolen by Korver. And here we go. Fast break. Korver's got it. And the dunk by James.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your gut tells you to take a shot at the pick and then big move to keep the pressure on.
And so it's Atlanta with it. The Cavaliers making the shot. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Bellinelli. Great D that time from Green.
Boy, too much traffic in the lane. Very difficult finish with the defense draped all over him. That's great use of size and length. Tough down low when guys are battling for that board.
Here's Collins. 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Buries it from outside.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
What a shot. He had no fear. I love it.
Out of bounds. It'll go to the Hawks.
Boy, how big might this sort of mistake play out? You never know, but sometimes these are game changers.
Atlanta making some changes. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Collins. Taurean Prince comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Malcolm Delaney. And then for Cleveland, Love check in for Iman Shumpert. Jay Crowder comes in for Jeff Green. And it's Rose in for Kyle Korver. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, guys, I was able to listen to what Mike Budenholzer told his team during that timeout. He told them they have to keep fighting. He said, hey, look, we're right here. but we can't make mistakes. You got to be aggressive and smart. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, David. And the Cavaliers call time here. They're trailing by 1. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
You know what? Enough time that they can run whatever play they're most comfortable with.
You'd think they want to do everything they can to get it to their hot hand.
Seconds left to play here in the fourth. Rose kicks to James. Over Prince. LeBron dishes to Rose. Love with the screen on Schroeder. Shoots off the step back. Count it!
And a lot of scoring here late, but there hasn't been any defense to speak of.
Yeah, this game has not exactly been a coach's delight. Both teams run ragged at the defensive end.
Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. Guys, your thoughts?
Not sure they have enough time for the catch and shoot here. Only hope is to try for a tip-in off the inbound. They've got their work cut out for them on this possession.
And so it's Cleveland who comes out on top here. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, LeBron. The spotlight's on you all the time. How do you kind of put that to the side and deliver the kind of performance you did tonight?
I just wanted to try to lead my team the best way I could. Whatever I needed to do out on the floor, I tried to be there for them tonight. And, I'm glad we was able to get this win.
Thanks very much, LeBron. Appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.